The morning rush had just ended, leaving the small Italian cafe wrapped in a calm lull. Steam curled from freshly brewed coffee, mingling with the soft hum of chatter and clinking dishes. At the corner, a young waitress named Sophia adjusted her apron nervously, brushing a stray lock of hair behind her ear. She had only been working there a few weeks, still shy, still learning the rhythm of the bustling restaurant. Her coworkers often teased her for speaking softly and keeping to herself, but beneath her quiet nature was a heart tuned to notice what others missed. That afternoon, the door opened with a gentle chime, and two men in sharp suits stepped inside, their presence commanding attention. The air seemed to change, conversations hushed, eyes flicked their way. They carried themselves with quiet power, the kind that needed no announcement. Behind them, an elderly woman entered slowly, her hands clasped before her, her gaze curious but serene. One of the men, tall, with a scar near his jaw, guided her toward a table near the window. Sophia watched, sensing something unspoken in their demeanor. The way the men hovered protectively told her this woman was important, perhaps family. When Sophia approached to take their order, she noticed something others hadn't. The older woman's eyes followed her lips intently but never met her gaze, her expression slightly confused each time someone spoke. The realization hit softly, she was deaf. The men tried to communicate, gesturing awkwardly, their frustration growing as they fumbled through the menu. Sophia hesitated for a moment, heart thudding in her chest. Then, with a deep breath, she set down her notepad, stepped closer, and began signing. "Good afternoon. Welcome. Can I help you choose something?" Her hands moved gracefully, the gestures smooth, practiced, a skill she had learned years ago for her younger cousin, who had never been able to hear. The older woman's eyes widened in surprise, then softened into a brilliant smile. Her fingers lifted, responding in kind. "You know sign language?" Sophia nodded, her own smile shy but warm. "A little, enough to help." The exchange drew the attention of the entire room. The suited men froze mid-motion, their guarded expressions melting into disbelief. One of them, clearly the leader, watched with a strange mix of awe and emotion flickering in his dark eyes. He had seen many things in his life, loyalty, betrayal, power, but this simple act of kindness and understanding disarmed him completely. The old woman laughed silently, her shoulders trembling with joy. For the first time since entering, she relaxed, hands moving quickly in conversation. Sophia followed along patiently, answering her questions, helping her pick a favorite dessert. Around them, the cafe seemed to hold its breath, caught in the quiet magic of a language unspoken but deeply understood. The older woman's joy was radiant, her hands fluttering with excitement as she signed stories about her favorite pastries and how her son always forgot to order the right coffee. Sophia responded gently, smiling as she translated her thoughts back into words for the men who sat watching, still astonished. The one with the scar, unmistakably her son, sat motionless, his expression unreadable but his eyes filled with something rare, something almost fragile. He had walked into this cafe expecting nothing more than lunch, another routine day guarded by silence, his mother's world locked behind an invisible wall. But this soft-spoken waitress had crossed that wall without hesitation, bringing warmth and laughter where awkwardness usually lived. As Sophia and his mother signed together, their hands moving like dancers across an invisible stage, he felt a lump rise in his throat. He'd hired interpreters before, paid teachers, tried to bridge the gap, yet none of it had ever made his mother glow like this. Sophia didn't notice his gaze, she was too focused on the woman before her. Every gesture she made was careful, respectful, filled with kindness that came from instinct rather than duty. When she signed "You have a beautiful smile," the older woman chuckled silently and reached out, patting Sophia's hand in gratitude. Their laughter, one silent, one gentle, mingled in the warm air, turning the small cafe into something sacred. The other customers watched in awe, whispering softly among themselves. They'd seen these men before, the quiet entourage, the black cars waiting outside, the aura of someone powerful, someone feared. But now, watching this scene unfold, they saw something different. Not power, not danger, just a son seeing his mother truly happy. When Sophia finally stepped back, cheeks flushed, she signed "I'll bring your coffee and cake," and the woman nodded enthusiastically. Before turning away, Sophia caught the son's eyes. There was gratitude there, yes, but also curiosity, as if he were seeing her for the first time. He rose slightly from his chair, adjusting his cufflinks as though to ground himself. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Sophia," she replied, voice barely above a whisper. He nodded slowly, the corners of his lips curving in a faint, genuine smile. Thank you, Sophia, you have no idea what that meant to her. Sophia blinked, unsure what to say, so she simply smiled and returned to her task. As she walked away, his mother leaned toward him, signing something quickly. He followed her gestures, and for the first time in years, he laughed, a low, heartfelt sound. His mother had told him, she has a kind heart. Don't let her go.